Take it all the way over.
It was never connected.
Take it all the way over there and get a sandwich. There you go. How's that? Thank you. Come through. How are you?
Okay. That's why I bring extras.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sound Live Sports Network here from Mountlake Terrace High School, where we have 2A, 3A Wesco baseball between the Mountlake Terrace Hawks and the Shorewood Thunderbirds just underway. First pitch up and high for a ball. Batting now for the Shorewood Thunderbirds is number 17, the center fielder, Brian Host. 1-0 on the way. Down low is going to be ball 2. And pitching for the Mountlake Terrace Hawks is number 26, Jared Maxfield. Two on its way, and it's in there for strike 1. Count run 2-1 on Host. That pitch is fouled back. 2-2 now. Mountlake Terrace in their black hats, black tops, and white pants. T-Birds on with the road blues, blue helmets, blue tops, gray pants. That pitch is high and inside. There'll be ball 3, full count on the center fielder, Brian Host. Three-two on its way. It's going to be a bit high, and Host will walk to begin the first inning. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Brandon Main. Maxwell's going to throw over to first. Host back safely. Another pickoff attempt. Host back safely again. First pitch. It's going to be hit into right field. And it'll be caught for out number 1. The right fielder for the Hawks today is Max Coleman. He'll make the grab for out number 1. Pickoff attempt, Host back safely. First pitch. In there, strike 1. Batting now is the first number 1, the shortstop. Elher Pate batting, the shortstop. The 0-1 to Pate. It's going to be swung on and missed. Strike 2. The throw down to second is going to be offline. Stolen base to Brian Host. Maybe a bit of a hit and run situation put on there, but Pate was unable to make contact with the ball. So Brian Host now in scoring position at center field. Only one out here in the first inning. The 0-2 on its way to Pate. It's going to be fouled off, hit high and into the netting. Count will remain 0-2. Maxfield ready. Checks the 0-2 on its way. In there, strike 3, and Pate will go down looking. He didn't like that one. Strikeout number 1 for Jared Maxfield. That's going to bring up number 18, Trent Heineck. He'll step in now. Maxfield will come set. First pitch. Swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove of catcher Dan Bingaman. It'll be strike 1. Maxfield will come. He will step off the mound. Now he'll come set again. He checks the 0-1. Hit back towards the pitcher, Maxfield. He'll field it, throw to first, and that will be the third out. We'll go to the bottom of the first. 1 hit, 1 man left on base, no runs for the Shorewood T-Birds. We'll come back. You're watching Sound Live Sports Network.
High school football on the Sound Live Sports Network is presented by My Neighborhood News Network, South Snohomish County's online gathering place. Visit My Edmonds News, MLT News, and LinwoodToday.com for news, sports, events about your community, and see what your neighbors are talking about.
Welcome back, Sound Live Sports Network. 2A, 3A Westco baseball for you today. Between the Mountlake Terrace Hawks and the Shorewood T-Birds. Adam Lorraine will step in. First pitch to him is swung on ground to the third baseman. The throw over will retire Lorraine on 1 pitch.
Nice standing on the baseline. Jeez, does that?
Goes to the third baseman, Caden Graves.
Sounds good to have a key there.
So I'll bring up the second hitter now for the Hawks. Number 4, Kendall Yackley. He's playing shortstop today. First pitch to Yackley. That one's going to be fouled off to the right side. Strike 1. Welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. 2A, 3A Westco baseball for you between the Mountlake Terrace Hawks and the Shorewood Thunderbirds. So the first out of this inning was Adam Lorraine grounding out to the third baseman. And now you find Kendall Yackley in a 0-2 count. That third pitch will be off to the right, ball 1. Pitching today for the Thunderbirds, number 14, Tanner Oxenyard. The 1-2 on its way. It's going to be hit towards the third baseman again. Throw over, and that will retire Yackley. It's Caden Graves again, the third baseman. First pitch. And that's going to hit number 26, the pitcher, Jared Maxfield. He's got a free pass to first. And we're going to have number 23, Will Smith. Oh, sorry, wrong roster. Number 23, Andrew Younglove, is going to come in and pinch run for the pitcher. So now that'll bring up number 3, the first baseman, Carson Dallas. First pitch. In there, strike one to Dallas. Oxenyard not taking much time. So far he's been liking attacking these hitters of Mountlake Terrace. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. Strike two. Carson Dallas is going to find himself here in a hole. He'll step in. Oxenyard will check first base. The 0-2 on its way. It's going to be hit into right field. And will be caught by the right fielder, Fredrickson, number 10, Jake Fredrickson, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, one man left on base. Will return for the top of the seconds. It's the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, nothing, and the Shorewood Thunderbirds, nothing. Welcome back. Top of the second inning. First pitch is in there. Strike one to the right fielder, Jake Fredrickson. His first at-bat of the day. Maxfield set. He'll come with the 0-1. It's going to be fouled off for strike two. Fredrickson down early, 0-2. Maxfield set. The 0-2 to Fredrickson. It's going to be high, ball one. Quickly set again. The 1-2. Could be hit back to the pitcher, Maxfield. He'll throw to the first baseman. Carson Dallas, First baseman Carson Dallas for the out. One down here in the second. One out. So one out now. That'll bring up the pitcher, Tanner Oxenyard. First pitch to him is ball one. The 1-0. Fouled back into the seats. 1-1 will run the count. Maxfield set. The 1-1. It's going to drop in there for strike two. Nice pitch. Oxenyard down 1-2. That pitch fouled back. Still 1-2. Maxfield set. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Oxenad. Second strikeout of the day for Jared Maxfield. First swinging. It's going to bring up now the first baseman for the T-Birds, Kevin Hirohane. Kevin Hirohata. First pitch in there, strike 1. That pitch outside ball 1. 1-1. The pitch fouled back. 1-2. Hirohata down 1-2 now. 2 outs here in the second. The 1-2. Swung on, missed, dropped 3, and Benjamin will just tag him out. Write that down as a strikeout, then a tag by the catcher. We'll head to the bottom of the second now. No runs, no hits, no one left on base. You're watching 2A, 3A Wesco Baseball on the Sound Live Sports Network. Welcome back. That pitch was fouled off by the third baseman, Matthew Johnson. The 0-1. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. One. Down low, 2-1. Johnson in the lead. Still no hits for either side. 1 base runner. The 2-1. It's going to be fouled off. Count run 2-2 now. Oxenad will come set now. The windup and the 2-2. It's going to be hit down the first base line. Foul. Count remain 2-2. Oxenad so far attacking these Terrace hitters. The 2-2 can be hit. Oxenad will field that. He'll throw to the first baseman, and that will retire Johnson. Up will come now the catcher, Dan Bingaman. He'll swing at the first pitch and ground that one to the second baseman, Brandon Main, and he will retire him. So Bingaman quickly retired, and now stepping into the box, number 20, Tyson Kim. First pitch to Kim. In there, strike 1. Again, Tannen and Axonyad attacking these Terrace hitters early and often. The one that's going to run and hit Kim square in the chest. He will get a free pass to first. That's Oxonyad's second hit batter of these 2 innings. So he's like to attack these Terrace hitters, but that sometimes cost him. He's put a couple guys on now. Batting now is number 14, the second baseman, Jonathan Kumai. First pitch to Kumai will be hit into right field for a base hit. Kim will round second, and he'll hold up there. And Terrace have runners on first and second with 2 outs. Jonathan Kumai came out swinging, first pitch, took it to right field. Now they'll bring up the right fielder, Max Coleman. Shorewood catcher Connor Adams wanted a word with his pitcher. And Oxonyad's first pitch after the hit will be a strike. The 0-1. Coleman will take, and he's down 0-2. The 0-2. Hit down the right field line. We'll go to the first baseman who will retire the side. And that will do it. 5 men come to the plate for the Hawks. They leave 2 of them on. We'll head to the top hand of the third. It's the Hawks nothing. The Thunderbirds nothing. Welcome back. Top 3 here. Maxfield will face 7, 8, 9. The first pitch to the 7 hitter. That is Patrick Anlish. Is fouled off for strike 1. Maxfield will come set. Wind up and the pitch. The 0-1 swung on. In the dirt, will bounce over the catcher, Bingaman, but it's strike 2 nonetheless. Hamlush will step into the box now. Maxfield gets the sign. He'll come set. The 0-2 on its way. Good pitch, but called a ball. I thought that was a strike. But ball 1, Patrick Anlush. The 1-2. That one's in there, strike 3. Anlush will go down looking. 4th strikeout of the day for Jared Maxfield. His second looking. That'll bring to the box the catcher, Connor Adams. First pitch to Adams. Fouled off into the dugout of the Terrace Hawks. All good there, though. 0-1 will go the count. Maxfield will get the sign and come set. The 0-1 onto Adams. It's in there, strike 2. Maxfield not waiting around. He's got Adams down 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Adams will go down swinging. Fifth strikeout for Jared Maxfield. His third swinging. That'll bring up the third baseman, Caden Graves. Maxfield will step off. The 1-0. Check swing. Appeal down to first base will find a strike. 1-1 will go the count. Pitch up high, 2-1. Maxfield will come set. Wind up in the pitch. In there, strike 2. 2-2 runs the count. The 2-2. In there, strike 3. Down goes Graves looking. Jared Maxfield asked if he could help him. Graves said, nope, he's just looking. That'll end the side. 3 straight strikeouts for Jared Maxfield, and we'll head to the bottom of the third. No score between the Hawks and the Thunderbirds.
High school football on the Sound Live Sports Network is presented by My Neighborhood News Network, South Snohomish County's online gathering place. Visit My Edmonds News, MLT News, and LinwoodToday.com for news, sports, and events about your community, and see what your neighbors are talking about.
Welcome back, Sound Live Sports Net, bottom 3. Leading off for the Hawks. Number 7, Adam Lorraine. He'll take a look at strike 1. Back to the top of the lineup. Oxenyon will face 1, 2, and 3 this inning. That's ball 1. A little bit low. Oxenyon set the 1-1 to Lorraine. Swung on, hit back to the pitcher. He'll field it off a hop, throw to the first base. Throw to first baseman. That's Kevin Hirohata at first base. 1 out. First pitch to Yackley. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Yackley will step back in. He's 0 for 1 today with a ground out to the third baseman. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 0-2 goes the count. Yackley will step back in. 0-2. On its way. It's outside, ball 1. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 on its way. Hit back up the middle. Diving stop by the second baseman. Thrown over, and that will retire him. It's the second baseman, Brandon Main, and he's slow to get up after diving for that one. The Terrace field here is all turf. You can understand if you're not expecting that, it can be quite hard. And time will be called. It's Brandon Main, still slow to get up. Brandon Main back up, and he will stay out there at second base. He made a spectacular diving play to make that stop on Kendall Yackley. So in will step now the pitcher, Jared Maxfield. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. First pitch, in there, strike 1. 0-1, down low, 1-1. A 1-1. Swung on, fouled. Ooh. That one was close to hitting Carson Dallas, his own teammate, standing in the on-deck circle. Had to hit the deck after that one. Hot shot, count will go on 1-2. The dugout enjoyed that one for sure. Dallas is okay. And Maxfield will step back in, down 1-2. A 1-2. Swung on, fouled back. Count will remain. The 1-2 on its way from Oxenyon. That one will be hit towards the shortstop, but will be fielded by the third baseman. And Maxfield's going to beat that one out. A high throw would ensure him being safe at first base. That one will be a... That one will go down as a single for Jared Maxfield. For the second time today, he is aboard. And for the second time today, in will come Andrew Younglove to run for him. Now batting first baseman Carson Dallas. He grounded out in his first at-bat. First pitch is low in the dirt, ball 1. Dallas will step back in, 1-0. Wind up in the pitch. Younglove was running. It'll be fouled off, 1-1. Oxenyon set. Throw over. Younglove is back safe. One. Back up the middle, base hit, slicing, that's going to get into the gap. Young Love will round second. He'll head to third. They're going to wave Young Love in. He'll round third. Johnson's going to hold up at second, and Young Love will score, and the Hawks are on the board first. An RBI double by the first baseman, Carson Dallas, will score Andrew Younglove. And the Hawks lead it 1-0. We'll step now the catcher, Dan Bingaman. The third baseman, Matthew Johnson, will step in before this catcher, Dan Bingaman. He's down 0-1. The 0-1 outside, ball 1-1. The 1-1 fouled off. 1-2. So 1-2. Back up the middle, base hit. They're going to wave around Dallas. He's going to turn the corner and score easily. An RBI single for the third baseman, Johnson, and the Hawks have taken a 2-0 lead here in the third inning. In will step the catcher, Dan Bingaman, 2 outs. Fouled back, strike 1. It's going to be hit to the left side of the shortstop, throw to second, and that will retire the side. Couple of 3 hits for the Hawks, including 2 that scored. We will head to the top of the 4th. The Hawks lead it 2-0. Update from that bottom of the third. It was 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 man left on the base for the Hawks. And we'll head to the top of the 4th. 1, 2, and 3 due up for Shorewood. Here we are, top of the 4th. First pitch on its way. That one's going to be a hot shot to the shortstop, Yackley, and he'll grab that one. The center fielder hosts down quickly, and I'm joined now by teacher at Mountlake Terrace High School, Vince DeMiro. Vince, how's it going?
Pretty good, Ben. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Enjoying a nice day for baseball. Started sunny. It's moved a bit overcast now, but overall not too shabby weather.
Yeah. Looks like Maxfield's got it going here.
Yeah, that one's in there for strike 1 to the second baseman, Brandon Main.
It's good to see the young man out there on the hill. He's having to wear the protective gear, but man, what an unfortunate accident earlier this season for him, but it's good to see him playing.
Yes, it is. Second pitch on the way. That one's going to be hit into center field for a base hit. Lorraine will grab that one before it can make its way into the gap and get it back in, but that'll be a single for the second baseman, Brandon Main. First hit surrendered by Jared Maxfield today. That'll bring up the shortstop, Alaher Pate. He's 0 for 1, struck out looking in the first inning. The pickoff attempt as Maine is back in there safely.
So is that the first base runner against the Hawks today?
No.
A walk earlier or something?
Brian Host walked in the first inning.
Okay.
That's the first hit surrendered by Maxfield today. Runner will go.
Ooh.
Low throw, almost hit Maxfield. And Maine's going to be in there for stolen base. Second stolen base today for the Thunderbirds.
I've seen that happen where catcher inadvertently releases the ball kind of funny and hits the pitcher. That was awfully close, wasn't it?
Yeah. New catcher, I believe, in the game for the Hawks. It's Danny Smart behind the plate. Dan Bingaman began the game. Oh, no, that is Dan Bingaman. Danny Smart came out for the warm-out pitches.
Gotcha. That was a good stop there, too.
Maxfield's second pitch is in the dirt. 2-0 to Pate. Maxfield will come set. Pate calls for time, and he will get it. He'll step back in now. Maxfield readies. Two and 0. It's going to be a bit high. 3-0 goes the count on Pate. Pate in a nice count here. 3-0. Wind up and the pitch. That one's right down Main Street in there. Strike one.
Walk wouldn't be the worst thing here with one out. Set up the double play. Just never like bringing the tying or the go-ahead run up.
Definitely. 3-1 on its way from Maxfield. Swung on and missed. Pate wanted that one. Just missed it. Strike two. Count will run full.
Great location, outside half. Good velocity by Maxfield.
Maxfield looking to put away the second out of this fourth inning. He readies, looks back, and he'll step off. Having Maine on there in scoring position, definitely a threat for the Hawks. Maxfield will ready. 3-2 on its way. Swung on, foul back. That was the sixth pitch of this at-bat. Pate staying in there. He'll step back in now. Maxfield will come set. From the stretch. Swung on, lifted into left field. Going back is the left fielder. The left fielder, Kim. He'll make the grab for out number 2, and Maine will go down to third base on the tag-up. So runner now 90 feet from scoring for the Thunderbirds, and that will bring up number 18, Trent Heineck. Excuse me, that's number 10, Jake Fredrickson. Fredrickson batting. First pitch on its way from Maxfield. In there, strike one at the letters. Count will go 0-1. The 0-1 lifted into right field. Going back is Max Coleman, and it's gone.
No, it's he caught it.
Oh, he caught it?
Yeah.
I lost track of it, and all I
Yep.
seen was looking him up. He makes the grab for out number 3. That will retire the side. One hit for the Thunderbirds, no runs. They leave a man on third. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Hawks 2, Thunderbirds nothing. Back now, bottom of the fourth. Auction Yard pitching to Kim. He's hit by a pitch in the second. The third baseman, that was Caden Graves, not able to field that one. And Kim will reach first. And looking like an error on the third baseman. Up now is Jonathan Kumai, the second baseman. Toss over on Kim. He's back safely. Kumai singled in the second. That's as far as he got there. 1 for 1 then today. First pitch to him. He looks to bunt. He's going to bunt it straight back at the picture auction. Yeah, they'll get Kim at second. They will not be able to get Kumai at first. Fielder's choice there.
Yep. It's one of those times where just a bunt just about anywhere else, and that's going to be just fine. But that one was right back to the pitcher. And very good play by the pitcher there. That is not easy to do. It looks easy, but you've just come off a 10-inch high mound. Now you've got to turn around and throw it flat ground. Not easy.
First pitch there to Max Coleman. Fouled off. 0-1. Kim and Kumai, 7 and 8, got some definite speed for the Hawks. Maybe see Kumai take off towards second. The 0-1 to Coleman. Up high will be ball one, 1-1. Toss over. Kumai's back easy. Max Coleman ground out to the first baseman in the second inning. Kumai leaves, ground ball to the third baseman. He'll just field it cleanly and throw on to first, and that will retire Coleman. Jonathan Kumai will go on his way down to second. Top of the lineup again will go Adam Lorraine, grounded out. Grounded out in both at-bats today. Looking for his first hit here in the fourth. First pitch could be grounded to the second baseman. Throw over will retire Lorraine. That'll end the end of the fourth for the Hawks. 2 hits, 1 man left on base. We'll go to the top half of the fifth. It's the Hawks 2 and the Thunderbirds nothing.
Soccer's at Linwood High School. Yeah, that's where I know soccer. And Wilbur. I did Wilbur. Okay, all right. That's amazing. You're right.
Top of the fifth here. Mountlake Terrace Hawks taking on the Shorewood Thunderbirds. 2A, 3A Westco baseball. Hawks lead at 2-0. And the first pitch to the right fielder, Jake Fredrickson, was a strike fouled off. 0-1 the count. The 0-1. Outside ball one. Fredrickson grounded out in his first at bat. Back to the pitcher, Maxfield, who has been dealing today. 1-1 on its way. That one's going to be hit into shallow right center field. And the right fielder coming on. That was Max Coleman to make the grab. 1 out. One up now. I'll bring up the pitcher, Tanner Oxenyad. First pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Deliver. That'll be hit towards the right side. It's going to get through. Second hit of the day for the Thunderbirds. It's to the pitcher, Oxenyad. Now batting the first baseman, Kevin Hirohata. He struck out and then was tagged out by the catcher on a drop third strike. Throw over. And he's in there. Back safely. Running for the pitcher is Mason Foltz, number 5. And correction, batting is number 16, Patrick Antush? Antush. Patrick Antush. 1-0 toss. Back in there safely. Strike 1. One, 2 currently the count on Patrick Antush. Excuse me, 0-2 on Patrick Antush. On its way. High, ball 1. One, 2 on its way. Swung on, popped up into right shallow center. The center fielder, Adam Lorraine, will make that grab. 2 down. Now batting, the catcher, Connor Adams. First pitch to him. In there, strike 1. Maxfield will come set. 0-1. High, 1-1 the count. Maxfield will check first. Now comes set. From the stretch, 1-1. Ground ball to third. Could be a tough play. And they'll just take the route at first. Adams retired. And that is 3 outs. We'll head to the top half of the bottom half of the 5th. Hawks lead it 2-0. Back now, bottom half of the 5th. Batting is number 4, Kendall Yackley. Grounded out twice today. The 1-2 to him. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Yackley goes down swinging. First strikeout for Oxenford. Now batting 26, the pitcher, Maxfield. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Was hit by a pitch in the first. First pitch he'll swing and ground ball to the shortstop. That is Pate, and he'll throw him out. Quick 2 outs here for the Hawks. Now batting first baseman Carson Dallas. RBI double in the 3rd. First pitch, swung on a missed, strike 1. RBI double in the 3rd, scored, and almost got hit by a foul ball by his fellow teammate Jared Maxfield. He'll swing at that pitch in the turf. 2 strikes on Carson Dallas. He'll step in. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, and he's out. Oxenford makes quick work of the 5th. 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the top half of the 6th. The Hawks lead it 6-0. Or, excuse me, 2-0 in the 6th. Back now, top half of the 6th. 2-0 Hawks lead it. First pitch will be grounded to the second baseman, Jonathan Kumai. He'll throw out to first, 1 down. That was Brian Host leading off the 6th. Now batting the second baseman, Brandon Main. Main flew out in the 1st, singled, stole a base in the 4th. His first pitch in there, strike 1 from Maxfield. Maxfield will come set. The 0-1. Ground ball to the 3rd baseman. Johnson fielded, thrown over, and they will get Main at first. Now I'll bring up the shortstop, Arthur Pate. Arthur, I apologize now for mispronouncing your name in your first couple at-bats. Joining me now for this last at-bat, the one, the only Steve Willits.
Hey, Ben, how are you today?
I'm good. First pitch in there for a strike.
And you've got Arthur Pate at the plate. Say that 10 times fast. The University of Washington commit, shortstop for Shorewood, had a batting average of over 400 as a sophomore, the team that went to the state championship game, and Pate certainly always a dangerous threat when he's at the plate.
Second pitch fouled off. Pate struck out looking in the first inning and flew out in the fourth, looking to get his first hit of the day. Shorewood just looking to get something going. They've had one man reach on a walk and 2 hits. So far, 6 strikeouts for Maxfield, looking to claim his 7th here in the 6th. The 0-2 swung on. That one's going to be hit into center field. Lorraine going back, and he lays out. What a play by Adam Lorraine, the senior out there in center field. Makes a diving grab, and that will end the 6th. 3 up, 3 down. Adam Lorraine puts away the Thunderbirds in the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. The Hawks still lead it 2-0. Back now, bottom of the 6th. Stepping up to the plate, number 8, Matthew Johnson. First pitch from Oxneved. Swung on in the turf. Strike 1.
It's got to be pretty frustrating for Oxneved, too. He pitched against Linwood the other night. This is a pitcher who has an ERA of under 1 coming into the day.
Ground ball back to Oxneved. He'll throw to first and retire Johnson.
Pitched against Linwood last week, and in that game he gave up 2 runs in the first inning, which was very uncharacteristic of him, then shut them down for the next 7 innings. Through 8 it was 2-2, and he finally had to come out because of the pitch count. They ended up losing it 3-2 in the 9th, so I've got to think if you're Tanner right now, you're wondering, what do I need to do to get a victory? I can't get any run support. Pitching himself a heck of a game here, only giving up the 2 runs so far, but it's not enough for them right now. They need to get some offense going, and give a lot of credit to Jared Maxfield.
Yeah, so far for Oxneved, 5 innings pitched, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned, 2 strikeouts. He's hit 2 people early on, but he's settled down after that. The 0-1 to Bingaman, the catcher, in there for strike 2. It's Dan Bingaman. Grounded out in both at bats so far. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Dropped strike 3. The throw down, and that will retire Bingaman.
Yeah, Bingaman, a catcher himself, so he knows what to do in a situation like that. But Adams very wisely jumped up, got the baseball in his glove, threw it over to first base. Hirahata, the easy put out there. But again, Oxneved, who the name sounds familiar to a lot of folks out there. His brother Ian, I think, was an 8th or 9th round draft choice by the St. Louis Cardinals 2 years ago. Ian, during his senior year, had an 11-0 record with an ERA of .53. Currently pitching in the St. Louis Cardinals 1A organization, the Peoria Chiefs in Peoria, Illinois. So this is a family that knows how to play baseball, and certainly Tanner having a good year himself. Has not had a loss yet on his record his senior year going into this game today. He's got 4 appearances and is 1-0. So unless his team can give him some support here in the top of the 7th inning, he's going to get his first loss this year.
Ground ball by the left fielder Kim. The throw over now will retire him. And 1-2-3 go the Hawks in the 6th. We'll go to the top half of the 7th. Hawks looking to shut the door on the Thunderbirds. They're up 2-0. You're watching 2A, 3A Westco Baseball on the Sound Live Sports Network.
All right, the Mountlake Terrace Hawks 3 outs away from the complete game shutout as Jared Maxfield staying on the mound. They currently lead 2-0 heading into the top of the 7th. And for the rest of the play-by-play, here is the super sophomore, Ben Iman.
Thank you, Steve. Batting now is the designated hitter, number 18, Heineck. Grounded out in his first at-bat, flew out in his second. Looking to pick up something here. Trent Heineck, first pitch, swung on in the turf. Strike one. Heineck will step back in. Maxfield set. Pitch. In there, strike two.
Incidentally, Heineck, only a freshman. He's batting .429 coming into the day. It's the number one batting average on the team. Not so bad as a youngster there. I mean, if you can even get onto the playing field, so to speak, for a powerhouse like Shorewood, you're doing something right. And for him to step into the starting lineup his freshman year and to bat over 400, not too shabby.
Not too shabby at all. The third pitch was fouled up and out of play. The count will stay 0-2 on Trent Heineck. He'll step back in. Maxfield set and ready. The 0-2 on its way. Swung on, grounded, fielded by the shortstop, Yackley. He'll throw over. That was a short throw.
Boy, Carson Dallas really been doing his calisthenics. I'm very impressed with the way that he's able to stretch out and get those balls. Yackley doing a nice job even to get to that ball. I mean, once it got under the glove of Johnson over there, throwing that ball across the diamond, it didn't look like he had any chance at all, and Carson almost got an out of it. Very impressive play.
Heineck will reach first. I believe we have a pinch runner out there at first base. And batting will be number 10, Jake Fredrickson, the right fielder. Hitting in the 5-hole. Grounded out in his first at-bat, flew out in his second at-bat. Indeed, we do have a pinch runner. The toss over. He's back easy.
Fredrickson leading the Shorewood team in RBI this year with 10. Had a huge year last year as a junior, one of the top players on. I was going to say one of the top returning players, but one of the top players overall for that matter.
That pitch in there for a strike. And that is either...
Should mention, too, this is a Shorewood team that had 5 home runs last year. 4 of them were hit by Harrison Jacobs, who's no longer with the team. He graduated. The other home run, number 10, who's standing in that batter's box. So he is very capable of putting one over the fence, and at this point in the game, that would tie things up.
The 0-1. In there, strike 2. Nice placement by Maxfield. Fredrickson didn't like that one. He's down 0-2 now. Maxfield set the 0-2, swung on, hit sharply towards the second baseman, and that will get through. That was Jonathan Kumai. First and second now, nobody out. That'll bring up, and it will be the pitcher who will be hitting in this one.
Yeah, Tanner Oxnevid, who he can hit a little bit as well, so perhaps they decided in this case he's going to try to help his own cause. Nothing else has been working so far. Oxnevid does have 27 at-bats on the season so far. He hits .259, so not a great average, and they're going to use him to bunt.
And a diving play by Carson Dallas, and he will make the grab out one unassisted. That's an unfortunate play for the Thunderbirds. So far, not the greatest of bunting days for the Thunderbirds. Runners will be forced to stay. That'll bring in Patrick Antush, the left fielder. Or excuse me, that'll bring up Kevin Hirohata, the first baseman. So that's Will Smith on second, Jacob Fredrickson on first, 1 out, 1 strike on Hirohata. Bottom of the 7th, Hawks lead 2-0. The 0-1. In there, strike 2. Maxfield not wasting any pitches, going right at him. And Hirohata's down 0-2. Hirohata struck out in the second inning, had a single in the fifth, was left on. He's 1 for 2 today. The 0-2 on its way. Swung on and missed. Got him with the high heat. 2 outs now. Strikeout number 7 for Jared Maxfield. And the Thunderbirds down to their last out. First pitch, down low, ball 1.
Antish 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out back in the second inning, and then he flew out to center in the fifth. Batting .320 on the year so far.
The 1-0. Maxfield checks second, will fire. Ground ball to second, and this could do it. Grounded by Kumai, and he throws over, and that will do it. The Mountlake Terrace Hawks claim game 1 against the Shorewood Thunderbirds. 2-0 here from Mountlake Terrace High School. A good win for them.
Huge win for Mountlake Terrace, a 2A school. Every game counts for them this year as we are playing with the RPI system. They run their record to 6-6 on the season. Shorewood, it puts them in a bit of a bind. That's their second loss in the conference right now. And the top 2 teams, and right now Edmonds Woodway was heading into the day with a 5-0 record, playing Meadowdale, so that could get really interesting depending on how that game turns out. Edmonds Woodway could have a 2-game lead on first place if they're able to win that game. Linwood was also 4-2 going into the day. Meadowdale was 4-2. Top 2 teams will get an automatic bye into the first round of the district playoffs. If you finish in 3rd or 4th place, you have to play a loser-out game this year, a 1-game loser-out game. So really finishing in the top 2, essential. And right now the way things are going and the fact that you've got such a tight-knit group in there. Last year, the top 5 teams finished within 2 games of one another. Not a game that Shorewood wanted to lose, especially with one of their 2 aces on the mound, Tanner Oxneved, who is, like I said, he's a lights-out pitcher, as is Will Smith, who I'm guessing will probably go against the Hawks here later on this week when these 2 teams meet again.
I do have some final statistics for this game. 2 runs for the Hawks on 4 hits, and they left 4 on base. And for the Thunderbirds, no runs on 5 hits. They left 3 on base and had 1 error.
Not a bad. So should we take a break here for a few minutes and then try to do a player of the game interview? We're going to do a player of the game interview. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get some more stats to you and wrap this thing up. Once again, the final score, Mountlake Terrace defeating Shorewood 2-0. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
High school football on the Sound Live Network is presented by My Neighborhood News Network, South Snohomish County's online gathering place. Visit My Edmonds News, MLT News, and LinwoodToday.com for news, sports, and events about your community. And see what your neighbors are talking about. High school football on the Sound Live Sports Network is presented by My Neighborhood News Network, South Snohomish County's online gathering place. Visit My Edmonds News, MLT News, and LinwoodToday.com for news, sports, and events about your community, and see what your neighbors are talking about.
Welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. And we've just seen the Mountlake Terrace Hawks defeat the Shorewood Thunderbirds 2-0 here in 7 innings at Mountlake Terrace High School. And we're going to have a player of the game interview here coming up in just a moment. We're going to take it down to the field with Steve Willits and Ben Iman and our player of the game.
All right, and with us right now, the star of the game, Jared Maxfield, a complete game shutout. Jared, looking at some of your stats this year so far, this is ridiculous. You've gone 21 innings, 28 strikeouts. You've only walked 3, and more importantly, 3-0 so far this year. What's been the biggest difference for you this year, and what's been the biggest difference for you having all this success so far?
Well, I worked a lot in the off season. I did a lot of postseason work with my summer ball team, and I had a great coach. and he helped tweak a few things, and I've been getting more power out of my legs, so I'm throwing harder. And he worked with the curveball, so now I have an out pitch. And having the out pitch along with a dominating fastball just helps get it by pitchers, and it just lets them hit it right to my infielders, and they give me the support I need. So.
I know last week against Edmonds Woodway, Brandon Mitchell touched you up early in that first inning. You seemed to settle down after that. Quite a few times when we were watching high school games, you see pitchers when they don't have it early on, or if something goes wrong in the first inning or two, they kind of fall apart. You seem to get stronger in that game. Tell me a little bit about your mentality too. Psychologically, all the things you just talked about a minute ago were what you've been doing in terms of on the mound with your arm. But tell me about the psyche of your game right now too.
Well, I think you mentioned before, but we're on the same team, and we work with the same coaches that teach the same mentality. And when you find adversity, you learn to overcome it. And I've had to face a lot of adversity many times on and off the field. And if you keep the mentality that once you hit a roadblock and you move over it, you get stronger. And I just told myself I wouldn't give up. And once I keep that mentality for the rest of the game, I find that I just get stronger and stronger as it goes on.
And then also the fact that you went out here today against Tanner Oxneved, one of the better pitchers in Wesco. I've got to think for a guy like you, I mean, you've been playing this game all your life pretty much. Is it that much more exciting when you wake up in the morning? I'm sure you knew Tanner was more than likely going to be on the mound, or if it wasn't him, it was going to be Will Smith. Either way, you were going against an ace. Does that get you just a little more fired up when you get ready for this game, when you come here to the diamond that day, knowing that, hey, I better have my good stuff today because our team's probably not going to score very many runs?
Yeah, well, I always find that just keep the same mentality for every game, and I always bring my best stuff, and that's how I keep dominating other teams. And I've played Shorewood many times over the year, and I actually had to face his brother as a batter before, and I just saw how he dominated, and I decided to bring the same attitude and same effort to the field, and I brought it to Shorewood just like I did last year, and it worked the same way.
So, Jared, last year, team 7-13, 6-6 so far this year. What has been the mentality change that you guys have had throughout switching over years?
Well, we a couple of guys, they dropped out this year, and that was unfortunate. So we have a smaller senior staff than we normally do, and some people would see that as an obstacle to get over. But our junior class has really stepped up this year, and they filled in a lot of the gaps that some of our seniors have left behind. And along with the seniors doing their job and juniors and sophomore too doing their part, we found that we have a much better team bond this year, and on and off the field, and it's definitely translated to better results.
Well, and as the senior pitcher on the squad with a lot of juniors and sophomores, I mean, do you find yourself more in a leadership role because of that? Do you embrace that? How has that been for you as the senior?
Well, last year I had to do sort of a similar role because I was just numbers-wise, I was the ace last year, and with the struggling record we had, I had to step up just as the pitcher, and I scraped up as many wins as we possibly could. But with the, like I said, with the team bond we have this year, I can have a whole lot more confidence up there, and I know that even if I make a mistake, my team's going to back me up, just like Adam Lorraine did out there today, and it helps me be the best I can be.
I was just going to ask you about that. Not only Lorraine's catch, but we also saw Carson Dallas come in, flying in from first base to make that diving catch. Tell me a little bit about this team. Maybe mention a few of the guys who you've got behind you in the field here who have been helping you out this season.
Yeah, well, Carson Dallas, he's on the summer team that I play with, so I'm with him year-round, off-season and postseason. And I've become really good friends with him since I met him sophomore year, and he's always had my back and I always have his back, and I know that no matter what, he's going to be there at first base and lock it down. And Adam out there, I've known him since freshman year. We've been on the squad. We both moved up to varsity at the same time, so we've been through this journey together. And, I have a lot of faith in him, and I know that he'll get me in the outfield out there, so I don't have any reserves about throwing it, and maybe if they hit it, I know he's going to go get it for me.
And I got to ask a question here for Mr. Vince DeMiro, who I know is going to be listening to this, who's up in the booth right now. You've already committed to Bellevue College. Seems like a familiar story. I think we heard that with one Dominic DeMiro, and it worked out pretty well for him. He's pitching at Hawaii now. Tell me a little bit about that decision to go to Bellevue and what your aspirations are. I'm looking to maybe pitch there for a year or two, then move on to 4. Is that the plan? Yeah,
well, I've had some connections to Bellevue with this team, knowing DeMiro, and with my summer team, just working with them. And I got to know the coaches, and I liked the staff, and I saw how Dominic did, and I talked to him. Actually, I got his advice to see how he liked it, and he said he loved it, and so I decided that was the path I was going to take, and just committing to a school like that, it takes a huge weight off your shoulders, and it actually lets me do better than I've ever done before because I don't put any extra stress on myself that a lot of recruiting comes with. And I've obviously been getting results from it, and it's been good to me.
It's been working very well for you. Hey, again, 2-0 victory today. More importantly, you run your record to 3-0, and the team is now 6-6. Jared Maxfield, go enjoy this one, and great job today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to let Jared go over right now, and then we're going to bring Coach Waters in if he could. So, Jared, we'll let you go celebrate this with your team. Coach Waters, come on over here for a moment. Andrew Waters, who's been at this now for, is this year number 20? Is that what I'm?
Well, it's my 18th.
After you've been here so long, it's hard to keep track of the years, isn't it?
Yeah, it's easy to forget.
Now, 7, and as Ben mentioned earlier, 7-13 last year. You guys are 6-6 right now. 12 games in, how are you feeling about things?
Great after today. We had a tough week last week, and we actually played 3 really good ball games. And we could have won all 3 of them, but instead we lose all 3. So, but we're in the heart of our schedule. We're playing the best teams in the area right now. And I'm really proud of Jared, number 1. What a great performance that is against a great team. And our team showed up and played the right way today. And we made the plays out there, and we got the 2 runs, and that's all we needed. And so it felt good getting a win today after a rough week last week.
Tell me a little bit about Jared Maxfield. I mean, we just talked to him about his own game, so he was cueing us in on what he's done differently or what he's worked on. But as a coach, what have you seen from him in terms of his progression this season?
He's just a stud. And he carries himself with such poise, and he is so confident in himself, and he's sure of himself, and he has those are just things that aren't coming from a coach. I mean, he just has it inside of him, and yeah, he had some bad luck this year, but he's rebounded from it, and he just keeps competing, and he's just an awesome competitor, and as a coach, you just love having him on your team.
You talked about the tough luck losses last week. You had Edmonds Woodway, I think it was 3-1 in the 5th one game. The second game, I think you were up 3-0. You ended up losing that one on a walk-off home run in the 9th. As a manager, do you worry about a team's psyche and their mentality after losing 2 tough games against not only a division opponent but a rival opponent at that? What did you tell the guys last week? Because obviously, whatever it was, it didn't seem to carry over into this week. So far, so good.
I told them that we just need to stay calm. And we had a chance to win each of those games, and the plays were right in front of us, and we needed one more play or one more pitch or one more execution, and we just got to figure out how to win those games. And it's really something that we struggled with a year ago as well. So it's a similar group of guys. These guys we're still a pretty young team when you get past our 4 seniors, and so we got to figure out how to hold on and do it. So today feels great because we got it done.
I'm guessing you're probably going against Will Smith tomorrow. The game's going to be over at Shorewood, 4 o'clock, so if anybody wants to watch. Probably been a few years since you've actually won more than one game against a Shorewood team. I know it's been at least 3 or 4. What would it mean to get a sweep against these guys, knowing just how good they are and what the job Coach Tonkin does year in and year out?
It would be huge. Sweeping anybody in our league is a huge accomplishment because our league is so good. So we'll see. We're gonna play another good game, and hopefully our mentality will be the same as last week, and we'll get over the top again and finish strong, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be another tough matchup like today was.
So we'll see if Mountlake Terrace can get the record over 500. They're over 500 in league play right now, we should point out. So far, so good. Coach Waters, thanks for your time, and go enjoy this one and get ready for tomorrow.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, so Ben Iman, once again, final score 2-0. Takeaways from this game, Jared Maxfield, obviously the star, but really not only the way he was pitching today, but defensively all around behind him, right?
Yeah, Terrace looked really well today. They played as a team. They played sheer baseball. Adam Lorraine had that great diving play out in center field. Carson Dallas, as we mentioned earlier, all around just solid defense. There wasn't any errors from this Terrace team, so it was good to see. Good to see him playing well, and we'll look to go out and get another one tomorrow. And
first broadcast of the year, baseball-wise, you did great. Nice job, and congratulations on that. And we're going to throw it out now. Thank you, Angelo Camone, everybody else who's been a part of it. So once again, Ben Iman on the call today. And Mountlake Terrace picks up the victory. 2-0 is the final score. I think our next broadcast is next Monday. We're doing soccer, correct? We're doing that off the top of our head here.
Yeah, there might be, yes, I believe so.
Next Monday, I think, is our next one. But anyway, tune back in, SLSN. For Steve Willits, Ben Iman, Vince DeMuro up in the booth. Angelo Como. Anybody else involved today?
Spencer Mouliar. He was involved today.
There you go. I got here late, so Spencer Moody are also doing a great job. Once again, your final score 2-0. You've been watching the Sound Alive Sports Network. Have a great evening.
High school football on the Sound Live Sports Network is presented by My Neighborhood News Network, South Snohomish County's online gathering place. Visit My Edmonds News, MLT News, and LinwoodToday.com for news, sports, and events about your community. And see what your neighbors are talking about.